Or mother loving seatbelts. Because it is Wednesday!
Wake up! Wake up, mofos!
Wake up!
How are you
Isn't,
feeling, Mr. C?
oh my gosh.
Yeah?
I've had a lot of energy this morning, which is a blessing because I've really, really been working for that.
Uh,
Doing a lot of extra self care because I didn't have any last week. I was sick.
okay.
During one of the most abundant weeks of my life, my body was terrified, and man, I woke up ready to go today, and I had a lot of what felt like nervous energy, and I
Sure.
used to call that anxiety, and now I'm starting to call it energy. This is something I'm thinking
Awesome.
about. Like, if you're waking up with what feels like anxiety, what if that's your potential?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
come on, and you're like,
Totally.
no, I need to do these things first. No,
Yeah, and
yeah.
how much are we resisting just being in the flow of how things happen and allowing them to happen magically and naturally, right? And that tension, that sense of tension is like don't you perceive it's like a fear that things are not going to go as you had planned? What if you
Oh
just
yeah.
knew that everything was going to
Like
work
I'm
out
gonna have to
exactly?
work really hard and stay in control of everything to make sure it's gonna work out the way
Yeah,
I oversee it.
exactly. It has to go my way. It has to go my way. It has to go my way, you know? And I think that's the only reason we have tension, right? You
And
remember
that's how
our,
so many men have been trained that way too. We've been talking about that. Like we don't
yeah,
even know how to ask for help, right?
that's
Because if
right.
it doesn't go your way, you're screwed, right? Like I've worked
Yeah,
this so hard and
yeah,
no.
yeah. Good luck with that, right?
Yeah.
Nice. How's your beautiful wife?
She's living her best life. She's creating her life downstairs as a musician, about to explode all over the universe. She already is. So,
She is. She is.
how are
We
you
had,
today?
I just want to say, we had the wonderful opportunity to sit down to this amazing, amazing album that you sent to us yesterday.
Did you do that?
We did. We listened to it. We listened to highlights because obviously we were working, so
Oh, okay.
we
You were
couldn't
working.
experience
I
it in the
encouraged
way
you to
that
have some kind of like
I know,
wild
some
ceremony around it.
metaphysical
Yeah.
alter. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it's a
Well, I had a little
journey.
mezcal. Does that
Okay,
count?
cool. Good, good, good. Yes, it does. So you were
Yeah,
listening to Dirty May?
I was listening to Dirty May. I was listening
That's
to
my band with my wife,
that's the band, and
who
then
introduced me to Daniel. The
wait, is
universe
this
really did, but
yeah? But wait, is this album that you sent me yesterday, Hot Mama? What's it called? Mama,
Holy Mama.
Holy Mama. I
Holy
love it.
Mama. That is a song that we co Cassie really wrote that actually.
She's
We
brilliant.
co-arranged it.
Your wife is brilliant, dude.
Yeah. We co-arranged it. That's almost why there's three movements in it. We had like a reggae piece, we have this like sexy ethereal piece that I arranged, and then always like if you get to know our bandmate Robbie, there's always like a Latin ending, or with me it's like a bluegrass stomp. But we
Yeah,
love to like really put tell stories through music like that, and so
yeah,
yeah,
that's
that was a
awesome.
song that won us some awards and got us into this festival. We're doing the 30th anniversary of the Finger Lakes Grassroots Music and Dance Festival near Ithaca, New York this summer, and it was with that song, and it's all been about community, and even we had like some amazing this guy TJ Scopper who plays trombone for John Brown's Body, and now he tours the world playing trombone, living his
Wow,
dream. And
that's
he
awesome.
came because he's from Ithaca. He came to the studio that day through a friend of a friend and arranged all the horn parts and played. And that was just one of the amazing local all stars that just we manifested during those few days. So this is like putting that life at work. I'm sharing this because we're literally, so before we've had children, my wife has declared I'm going to create an album, like we're going to go on tour. And
Yeah,
so I've just turned 41, she's 39, and we are literally saying, universe, like this is how life's going to go, and you can
yeah,
bring more, but we're
yeah,
going to
of
create our
course.
dreams and we're going to go for it.
Absolutely.
And so that's what this album has been about. And we did
Yeah.
it with someone else, our bandmate Robin Frost, who really, I mean, we're a couple in a band. It's intense. So having
Yeah.
Robin was an angel that was sent to us that we co-created with, and we
Yeah.
got to share our relationship with him in a healthy way, meaning like it became a symbiotic thing, the
That's
sum of all
awesome.
parts, right?
Yeah, it's so beautiful. One of the things that I've learned by living here in Mexico too is, when I first came here, I am not fluent in Spanish. I'm learning, but I'm definitely not fluent. And what that has made me do is ask for help, right?
Mm,
It's made me ask for help. It's made me ask more of my partner, Guillermo.
mm,
It's made me ask more of my friends who do speak English. And when we feel like such a foreigner in that space of like, well, I want to do this, but I can't because I can't communicate, whatever, it kind of blocks us off, right? That's a way of consciousness of not seeing a bigger picture. And finally, other than taking my Spanish classes and doing all of that, I was like, no, 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 I'm gonna thrive here. I'm not
mm.
just going to live here. I'm not just gonna
Yes.
enjoy here. I'm gonna thrive
Yes.
here.
Every
And as
time I
a
talk to Daniel, by the way, until this year, he's been in a different country. All his favorite. Why are you in Paris, Daniel? Because I wanted to be. Because
It's
that's
true.
where love brought me. So
That's
this is
right.
what it looks like. And this is what we're
Exactly.
talking about. Okay, keep going.
Exactly. And so, I am teaching some classes here that are in English.
Hmm.
And that's another thing. I thought, oh my gosh, nobody's going to sign up for these classes in English, right? And people are signing up. There's obviously people here who speak
No,
English
people
and want to
speak English.
in Mexico. Can you believe it? And as I was looking for these things, I was looking for a space to present these classes, I was I'll say created an opportunity. I created an opportunity for myself that I said to the guy that was renting the space to me. I said, "Well, what would it be like if I just rented it monthly instead of just on these specific dates?" And he doesn't speak any English, so all of this is like third party. Guillermo's communicating for me. My friend Grace is communicating for me. We're like going back and forth with all of this, and it was that sense of asking for help and knowing that there are other
Mm.
people that can come in to actually help me to manifest this dream to make it a real reality is what actually made it happen. And just yesterday we finally came to an agreement with this guy. It took a little negotiating, and
Well, you asked for what you wanted and you said
I
no
did.
when it didn't work for you, which is
Yes.
also something that you didn't share just now, but you shared with me the other day is, he came back with something else and you actually said, "No, the space was perfect, but you're not going to live in scarcity. You're going to trust that if the space isn't going to work out, something else will come along." So if it doesn't look how you want it or
Yep.
not what your ask is for, you can say no, and no is a complete beautiful sentence that actually brings you closer to your yes.
Yeah, and also by you saying no, I think what we forget, Ben, is that when you say no, you create a space also for something greater.
Mm.
Okay. Like, oftentimes we don't say no because we think that's the only thing we can get.
Mm.
We think, oh, I can't get out of this relationship that I got myself in because I don't know if I'm gonna find something else, not even something better, something else. I don't even know. So I'm going to stay in this relationship. I'm going to stay in this marriage. I'm going to stay in this business, this job, this whatever. And it becomes so painful. It almost becomes cancerous, right? But what if you just took that opportunity to shift that awareness and say, hey, you know what? I know that if I say no, greater is coming. And it may be also like just like this situation when the guy came back to me and tried to bamboozle me for twice as much. I ended up he came to bamboozle me for twice as much, and I said, "No way, not gonna get into that." And then I said, "No." I walked away, and then even that thing came back and was like, "Oh, well, let's make a deal," right? Then I'm sorry to
Exactly.
interrupt you. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. I just noticed on Facebook you are muted, but you just unmuted yourself. You're okay now.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I
All
muted
right.
on purpose. Thank you so much. You're so intentional.
I was like,
So beautiful.
"Oh dear." Okay, cool. Now I can
Okay.
focus again. So yeah, saying no to a situation that you may be in that you really, really want is one of the most powerful things you can do because
Yeah.
what if you let go and it comes back to you tenfold? You
Yes.
know, that's why, I'm always talking about how powerful it is to ask questions. Ask
Mm.
questions of the universe, ask questions of each
I was
other, ask
just thinking
questions
of
of
a
yourself.
question to share with everyone. How
Exactly.
funny.
And what's your question? What's the question you want to share with everybody?
Where are you not asking for help when the universe is right there waiting to support you?
Yeah.
I have been
Exactly.
trying to work on my website and my brand by myself forever. Newsflash, like Guillermo, who we've been talking about, this famous man, mysterious man, Daniel's partner, is an incredible web designer, production company. What?
Can you see him? Oh shoot.
No, no.
It stopped.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
was so
goodness.
excited, and
Oh
then he just
no.
disappeared. Okay, anyway.
Oh.
So there's like these designers and
Yeah.
brand people literally right around me, and it's just magical. And it took me. I was working really hard in other directions to make it happen. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh," and then all I had to do was go. And so sometimes letting something go or saying no to something else, when you let it go, I love this metaphor. When you let it go, suddenly your arms are open for something else to come in to receive,
Yeah,
right? Like the
there's
second your palms open.
yeah.
You know, when
Do you,
I've gotten fearful in life, I've always held on more. And this
of course.
huge opportunity that just came into my life as well was because I had let go of it. And the past, I was forcing it to happen and it was not happening. So, what some of the
Absolutely.
best energy and gift you can say is just to give it some space,
Yeah. It
like a
reminds me of,
boomerang.
do you remember, growing up in the South, which you did as well, there used to be all these
Yeehaw.
evangelical, yeah, yeehaw. Remember all those evangelical Sunday morning
Oh, I used to
shows?
impersonate them. By the
Oh, me
time I was
too.
4 year old, 4 years old, yeah, like
Me
living room,
too.
like Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
yes, come on,
Yeah.
Happy Sunday,
So do you remember the guy that used to say,
yes.
and it's so funny because I actually quote him now. I used to make fun of him, but now I quote him. He used to
It was the
say,
weird white dudes.
oh, of course it was the weird white dude, but I think
Yeah.
this was a really cool African American dude.
Okay.
I think his thing was set it and forget it. Do you remember that? Do you remember
Was
that
his
one? I
name
don't,
Jimmy something?
it wasn't Jimmy
There's
Swagger.
always
Is that who you're
like,
talking about?
I don't
It was
know.
like
There's always
Jimmy.
those
There's always
guys.
a Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
him, but I love
Oh,
that.
right,
I
because we're
love
talking about actual real gospel here. Okay, it was like set it and forget it, right?
set it and forget it,
I love
right?
it.
And what a beautiful, beautiful thing to say. Like, put it out into the universe, set it and forget it. Let
Yes.
go and just let God. That was another one. Let go and let God,
Oh,
right?
yes. We
And
love that. That's one of the so if you've ever been in or around 12-step recovery programs, that's one of the first ones you learn.
really?
Yeah, let go and let God. Or
Oh, I didn't know that.
and on most sobriety coins, I wonder if I have one here. Before I got sober, I was going through some shit. I was actually selling marijuana. This is a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
I was selling pot. My bandmate, his family, his parents grew it in Northern California. So of course we had like pounds of it shipped to us, and that's how we
Right.
supported ourselves. It wasn't even making money. It was like break
Selling it
even,
to your
smoke all
friends.
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, do your thing. But I went home for Thanksgiving and we got I got a phone call that I had been robbed. Basically, my room had been ransacked. They're like, I don't know if anything's missing. And I was like, look here, blah, blah, blah. Is anything there? And they're like, nope. And I realized I'd been robbed. And the the gift of this was is that I was like home for Thanksgiving and I was just in tears and I felt so traumatized and I knew I had a problem already, and I was sharing this with my father. Had a roommate at the time who was in AA. My dad always had these roommates in AA after my parents divorced, and they were always these like amazing. I always had these amazing gay male sages in my life, like from teenage years, because I had my father and whoever his roommate were, and they were all in recovery or spirituality. And it was really beautiful to have older men who were really in touch with their feelings and working on themselves. I realized how rare that was. And he's this guy, his name was Tony, and he sat me down in the guest room, and he said, you know, if you think you have a problem, he's like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I know your dad, but if you think you have a
Wow.
problem, you know, maybe you do, but either way, I just want you to have this.
Right.
And it was a coin, and it said, to thine own self be true. And I'd forgotten everything for years, but something about that stuck with me. And it
It's
was this
beautiful.
25-year sobriety coin. And that alone was just a reminder, you know, to honor our own heart and our own path.
Hmm.
And that, like, in the depths of my despair, when I opened my heart, there was an angel. And this has been the story of, I mean, I could tell you this like happening 50 times.
Yeah, it's
Since
beautiful.
then, someone appears, and if you're willing to open your hand and ask for help, you can be carried on your path.
Absolutely. Ben, what I'm really amazed at is, you know, the more we get to know each other, the more we share our stories. There's there's so many incredible similarities. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Back in the late 90s, I think that's enough time for me to be free and clear of being convicted of any felonies, right?
I don't know. Sure. Yeah. 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 This is a whole new
A whole new
millennium.
world, a whole new chapter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt I was in a similar situation. Let me just say that I was in a similar
Mm,
situation. And and I remember I wasn't robbed, but I had people coming after me,
mm,
right? I had people coming after me
mm.
and making it pretty clear that they were going to do something incredibly, incredibly life threatening to me if I didn't come up with um, money,
Mm.
essentially, right? And I remember one particular night I was on the dance floor at this nightclub that I always went to. And I was at this dance floor and I had some stuff on me. And there was word going around that there were all of these authorities and that there was going to be this huge crackdown. And, it was during the what was his name? Giuliani administration, right? When all the
Oh my
crackdowns
God.
happened
The
in the
stop
city,
and frisk. Oh,
stop and frisk, like
yeah. I
all
got a
that kind of
story of that
crazy stuff.
too. Yeah.
So I was sitting there on the dance floor and I was really, really scared.
Mm,
But it was a double-edged sword. Like I needed to make sure that this money was given back to this source so that I could be saved, like so that nothing harmful happened to me. And on the other side, I needed to get out of there without going to jail or being caught or anything like that. And I remember actually then here I was on the dance floor at Roxy, and I'm surrounded by half naked, sweaty men.
of course.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning,
Of course.
and my heart is pounding, and not for good reasons,
Right.
by the way.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I closed my eyes, and I don't think that I ever really truly prayed before that,
Mm,
right? I closed my eyes and I said, God, creator, universe, wherever you are, if you get me out of here and through this evening unscathed, I swear I will never do this again and I will completely dedicate my life to creating change, and creating change in the world.
wow.
And I was like, it was amazing because I did get out of there. I got out of that and I got the money to where it needed to go. And my life changed immediately, like
Mm,
immediately that night. You know what I'm saying? And it
mm.
was a similar situation in which you had expressed
Yeah.
how lucky you were to be where you were,
Yeah.
right? And I always think that that situation was something that truly, truly, truly saved me. You know what
Mm.
I mean? And I'm forever grateful for that, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. And it's
I
like those
know.
traumatic things, we make it,
Yeah.
I don't know, we make that stuff out to be like, this is the most horrible thing in the world and
Yep.
scarred me for life. But, we have no idea. And the longer I live, the less I'm thinking life is about just pure pleasure. I mean, we can
Yes.
totally enjoy it, but
Yeah.
life is about living and, you can't avoid pain. We can suffering can be optional,
Yeah.
but it's about feeling all of the feelings, right? And learning from them and growing from them and learning the lessons and asking the questions. So I love,
Yeah.
anytime someone's in the shit or the mud or, is like, what do I do? I always say, like, great question,
Yeah.
right? I can't
Exactly.
tell you, but we can start by asking.
It's a
And
place of
at that
surrender, isn't
similar
it?
time in my life, yeah, I was just my soul was crumbling inside. I was so depressed and I just kept asking the universe. I remember calling my mom and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'd like lost all my jobs and she was like, "Well, ask like have you tried praying or asking God?" And I was like, "I don't that's all I've been fucking doing." And then like this totally other thing opened up. Like
But
I
it's
ended up
also it's I think it's really important to note also, it's that action, it's that physical action, Ben,
Yeah.
that you take after you ask for help. So
Right.
whether you're asking for help from God or the universe or the creator, or you're asking for help from your best friend or your buddies at AA, that's one thing, but you've
Right.
got to take a step. You've got to take an
You
action.
have to take an action. Well, and asking can be like, but reaching out your
Yes,
hand. So what's
absolutely.
coming to you as far as an action?
What's right now?
Yeah.
You mean in my life, what actions am I taking?
Like I just felt like something was about to come to you. You were going to share something else.
Well, I think for me, it's just this space that I'm in right now of like, I really honestly never really know what tomorrow brings.
Mm.
I really don't. But I know that the actions that I'm taking in terms of like seeing and doing and being and creating and just following the flow of everything and
Mm.
not getting wrapped up into how things look like,
Yeah.
or how things I thought have to be. They work out so
Yeah.
much better when they're not about what I think they have to be,
Oh my
you know?
God. Yeah. Like how
Yeah.
can it I love, and still have it on my whiteboard from a really dark time in June when I was on the road. It was like a few months after my father had passed. Cassie and I were nomadic. We'd decided to give ourselves the gift of living in Long Beach for 6 weeks, but we were still like living. It was like this beautiful Airbnb, but it was still like someone's mom's basement. Like it was a
Yeah.
a mother-in-law apartment, and
Yeah.
there was still this dark energy of her son who lived there on. But it was also like amazing, and we bonded with him, but there was we could feel the energy, and in other words, we're still under someone else's place, and we're both empaths, so it was like
Sure.
um but I wrote on this whiteboard, like on the door to the upstairs apartment he shared one morning, how can this work out better than I ever imagined?
Yeah.
And like, could this family be the door to something? And they really ended up becoming something really special. And even their dog became a special part of our lives. And it became like the springboard for Cassie and I to sit down and say, what do we really want? And how could this work out better? Because we couldn't see a way. We couldn't see a home. We couldn't see, our families were split up. We were grieving. It was like, and all we knew was just to keep throwing ourselves in the ocean, throwing ourselves into meditation, and keep asking and being
Yep.
open. And so you
Yep.
had shared, you know, you can ask, but then you have to take an action.
Exactly.
So, I always say too, like you can't think your way into right action. I actually shared on my Instagram story. Once in a while, I get really inspired while I'm running to share
Uh-huh.
about it because I realized the reason I was running this morning was to work through this energy early on, and it was the best gift I could give myself. So I was sharing it because I was like, anyone else who's feeling crazy, like get out of your head, like go
Yeah.
move your body, take a walk, do
It's so
something.
true.
And
It's
if
so
you get
true.
into action, then suddenly the universe can open up. Like even writing what you want is an action that can be a prayer that can
Totally.
be a game changer.
So you also said something too I want to highlight. You said sometimes the action can just be taking a walk or
Hmm.
running or like you said writing. We oftentimes, what I know for myself is that I think, okay, here's the deal. I want to start this or I want to do this.
Hmm.
Then my action has to be associated with that. But that's actually not true, right? Because how often have you wanted to create that or do that and that action was so far away that there was nothing you could do in the interim, right? Like, oh, I want to star in a movie, let's just say. Well,
Yeah,
before
I
you
was just
star in the
thinking of an
movie,
acting job. Like, there's a lot of steps between, like, I'm gonna be an actor and
exactly.
getting a
There's
job, right?
so many steps,
Yeah.
like
Well, there's quantum leaps as well, but there are, in the business,
right.
someone's got to find you. You've got to find the casting director, submit yourself, have the work ready, and all that. Yeah.
Right. And what if all of that seems so daunting to somebody or seems so daunting to you that you were like, "Oh, I can't." Get up, go for a walk, and change directions. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Do something that you've never done before.
I love
Just
the change
sh
direction.
yeah, change
It's like
direction. That's
opposite action.
do you have you ever read the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza?
No.
It is a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal a life-changing book. And
Cool.
while I don't
I've heard you
follow
talk about
Joe,
Joe a lot. I have clients who love Joe, and I don't
I know,
actually
me
follow
too.
him regularly either.
I know, me too. I don't follow him regularly. He's amazing. What I know of him
Maybe we
and the
should
work
have
that he
Joe
does.
on the show.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Let's bring Joe on here.
Let's bring Joe on here.
The habit
So
of
anyway,
changing yourself.
breaking the habit of
Oh,
being
breaking.
yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah. And in the book, he talks about how the simplest, the littlest changes that we make in our life will yield the most incredible results. Something as simple as, we're into such routine in our life. We wake up at the same time. We do this. We wash our face. We brush our teeth. And then we make coffee. Then we do this. And then we do that. And we go to work. And as we go to work, we take the same exact path. We go the same way. We see the same people. Same, 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 same. And he talks about starting so simply with the little things. Like instead of waking up on the left side of the bed, wake up on the right side of the bed. Instead of
Ooh.
waking
Oh
at
my gosh. Yeah.
6:45, wake up at 6:38, right? Like little things, because the little things create the greatest impact, right? Instead of going to the same Starbucks, go to a different Starbucks, or maybe go to a different coffee shop. Or
Or
instead of
try
going
supporting a
right,
local one. Yeah.
right, instead of going right to go to your next meeting,
Mm,
why don't you go left and take the long way? We always want to go
yeah.
the shortcut, but what if going the long way actually meant that you met somebody who could get you closer to what you've been asking for? And so the whole concept, the philosophy is that you are missing out on so much by keeping
Mm,
yourself stuck in
yeah.
these
And
pathways,
these
right?
patterns. You can actually, this is really cool and creepy. So if you
Mhm.
have an iPhone or Android and you have your location services tracker turned on, you can actually
Uh-huh.
go into your phone and you can look at it and you can watch your pattern in a day and you can see all the little
I didn't
squiggly
know that.
lines, especially like I did it with my AirPods recently on the Find My iPhone thing, and it showed me because I was carrying my ear, I was had them in my head. It was showing me where they were all day, and it was like this weird, and Cassie and I were talking about. You looked at if you've ever seen a video of someone in their house, it's like it's so bizarre. The same patterns, up, down, back, forth, back, forth. So changing these things literally. Even when I went into yoga teacher training, the most amazing thing this teacher said to me, I'll never forget this because it was anatomy class, and she was this yoga teacher that I really looked up to. And she said the best thing you can do as yoga teachers is do something else. This should not be the only way you move your body. You will get repetitive stress injuries if you only move this way. Your body needs the best thing you can do is move in different ways.
Yeah, exactly. When I
Um,
was doing it reminds me too, when I was doing my Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator training, one of the things that they always talk about, that Gary and Dane always talked about in our trainings, was don't make this your profession. Like, don't make this. No, no, no. They didn't say don't make this your profession. They said don't make this your sole source of income. Because if you make this your sole source of income, the pressure is going to prevent you from doing what it's actually meant to do.
hmm,
And so one of the supporting things that they always do for us is they always introduce us to new ways to create different businesses. And you meet Access certified facilitators from all over the world, and they all have, one of them has a clothing line, and another one has a jewelry line, and another one has an antique line, and another one does this, and another one does that, and they're all things that fuel your desire, your passion, the things that make you the happiest. So how can you turn those things that you thought were hobbies or whatever's and this and that into like real true passions that actually yield and create money for you, you know?
hmm.
So that's also something in which we are so programmed to, okay, I'm going to finish high school and then I'm going to go to college and then I'm going to
Yeah,
get my master's, and then after that I'm going to find a job and I'm going to be in this job for 40 years, and I'm going to retire when I'm 65, and when I retire from 65 I'm going to have a pension and a
then
401k and
I
a da
can
da
do.
da da
Yeah,
da. I mean, Guillermo asked me the other day, he said, because I'm always I'm really into cryptocurrency now. And so I'm always checking my accounts. And he's like, is this an American thing? Do you guys always check your stocks and your this and your that? And I said, no, baby, this is our retirement, just so you know, because I don't have all of those 401k retirement, who's that everybody else has. I said, so
yeah,
this is our retirement. So, yep, I'm invested in making sure that we've got something to live off of whenever we choose. And what is retirement anyway, right?
yeah. If we make it that long.
Yeah. Or if you ever, I don't want to retire. I hope that
Yeah,
you and I are doing this until we're 250 years old,
yeah.
Come on, Guillermo, give me my tequila. Oh God,
Oh my
I think I'm
gosh.
awake. Are you awake, Ben? I'm awake now.
I don't know. I've already been through many spaces this morning. I don't know where I am right now, but I'm here, and I'm really
Yes,
grateful to be with all of you.
all
And
of you.
we hope you've woken up to some potential today. I want to share something that we're doing. I'm really excited about it. So,
Yeah, tell him,
back,
Ben.
yes, I'm about to. Um, so I'm still learning. Oh, here we go. Wait, yes. So back by popular demand, I want to share this. We have um, so we did this like 2 months ago almost, and the
Yeah.
Renaissance men are back. So if you're
Yes.
watching, you can't see it right here. We have got a little video for you. I'll share it. Ooh. So if you go to the
Woo!
link in our bios or to either of our websites on events or workshops, you will see this. And if you identify as a man or have a man in your life, you don't want to miss this. This is actually going to be a space where we are going to transform the conversation and the planet around what it means to be a man today. And we get to create that in that space, destroy all the lies you've been told in the past, and do some really, really amazing healing live Q&A with you one-on-one and in a group. And and get the magic of the work that Daniel does as a theta healer and certified access consciousness teacher. And I am between now and then I'm also going to be have my theta healing certification.
That's
So there's going to
right.
be some serious I'm doing it, getting certified with Daniel, and you can do that on your website. You could actually hop on and join us.
Yeah, if anybody
So there's
wants
going to be a
to,
lot of magic happening
that's such a great idea, Ben.
December 1st.
Theta healing is, if you guys have ever wondered how to access your intuition greater, theta healing is a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous um, icebreaker for you to really begin to develop your psychic senses, your
Mm-hmm.
intuitive abilities towards healing and communicating with other realms. And thank you for mentioning it, Ben. The
Yeah,
class is actually next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern
Eastern.
Standard Time, or 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Mexico, live at my new healing center.
Woo! And I'm not like a late night person. This is late for me. I've been
Yeah,
avoiding this for 6 months because I said, you know what, Daniel, that time doesn't work for me. So
that's
I'm not
right.
going to do that. But I am making this time work for me now. It is
No,
time.
no, no, no,
And
no. About to call you out because I did a daytime one in August, and you were like, "No, that doesn't work for me either." And I was like,
yeah, I
"Bro,
wasn't
what else do you
around
want from me?"
then. Sorry, living a big life. You did do a
Exactly.
daytime one. Thank you.
Totally. Of course. I just had to clarify just so
Okay.
everybody knows that I got your back. I'm looking out for you, okay?
Thank you, Daniel. And one of the things I said to Daniel, he shared with me how much he saw intuition in me, and I had felt that my whole life, but I really didn't. It's not always clear to me, and I would like to tap into it deeper and offer more of this to my clients as well, and for myself to have a deeper understanding. It's one of the greatest things for me as a human, as a coach, as a healer, as a
Hmm.
lover, as a student in this world, has been just to tap greater in the consciousness of what I call God, of the creation of the universe, and
Yeah.
of all of the many souls like here on earth and beyond. And so it's in the process of losing my father this year, I really allowed my heart to open. I saw Daniel for a healing session, and it's just helped me tap in this amazing energy of the universe that's always working for us even more. So this is my plug for his course and his work, and that's why I love Daniel, because it just being in your presence brings this out of me.
Thank you, Ben.
And
I
you're
appreciate
so
that.
welcome. And it's such a nice offering from anyone who is so used to the coach world and the offering world that's like dominant, let's go. I've got some exciting, I can bring that energy for you, but the what we're really here to offer, and what I think is so special about Daniel and really unique about both of us as men is this really strong, powerful gift of healing and your divine feminine and masculine balance and tapping into your greatest potential.
Yeah, I have to say, Ben, it's such a gift and a contribution to always spend time with you, whether it's meditating in the morning or online or whatever. I'm so grateful for the universe and for the choices that brought us to this collaboration. And I have to tell you something, really probably prior to this year, I was not so much one of those people that was like, oh, let's collaborate, right? Really, truly.
Yeah.
And I just find such ease, honestly, such ease in collaborating with you and working with you and being vulnerable with you. And
Mm,
that's what I know that you offer the world. And so
mm.
together, there's something like Ben said to me the other day. I'm telling everybody else, hold on, I'm gonna put you on the side for a second. So I was doing something and I was like, oh my God, I got so emotional and I was trying to hold back the tears. And Ben was like, bro, why hold back the tears? Why not just let it go? And I was like, oh yeah, why didn't I let it go?
Well, you were like, I was trying to like be a bro and like not show how I was feeling, and I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what we're like working
where we're
against,
working,
right? Well,
exactly,
not
exactly.
against, but in the medicine we're bringing towards.
Transforming.
Yes, we're
Yeah,
transforming.
that's
Yeah.
what we're transforming it. And then, mind you, last night Guillermo is like, Glee was like literally my favorite show, like my
Oh,
favorite
I
show of
loved
like the
Glee.
last 20 years, right?
Of
And I
course, that's
haven't seen
also
it
why we're
since it.
friends. Like, when are they
Exactly.
gonna bring back that? They brought back everything else. Come
I
on.
know, seriously. So Guillermo and I watched the first episode together last night on Netflix, and I fucking wailed. Like
Oh.
I could not stop crying, and he was like,
Mm.
"Oh, mi amor, are you okay?" And then he started crying, and
Oh.
it was so good. It was so good. How does it get even better?
I love
Then,
that.
listen, I'm
Yes.
woke. I'm woke, bro. I'm woke.
Yes. Uh,
Wednesdays are never going to be the same.
No, they're not. So if you haven't already, come sign up for this workshop on our websites. It's happening with you. And happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. And we just want to also share that this podcast is soon going to become available on Spotify, Apple Play, and all
Ooh.
of your favorite streaming services for podcasts. So look out
Yes.
for us. Probably next week we'll be ready to launch that. So
How can
wake
it
up, wake up, wake up,
get
wake up,
any
wake up.
better than this?
What else is possible? ¿Qué más es posible? Ben, have an amazing day, brother.
Thank you. Same to all of you.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.